Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is another play ratings. Tottenham played VITESSE last night and it ended Tottenham 3, VITESSE 2. So if you do enjoy this video, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below your play ratings. Obviously Antonio Conte's first game started really well. The first 30 minutes were probably like the best football we've played in such a long time, and then we were like 3-0 up, and then some mistakes started creeping in, and we sort of lost control of the game itself. And VITESSE, you know, they scored the first goal and I'm thinking, you know what, it's 3-1, you know, they might not score another, we might go to their end and score another goal. Unfortunately, that did not happen. They ended up scoring another goal, and so it was like 3-2. And so then you're thinking, oh no, are we gonna mess this up and throw away a 3-goal lead? So the rest of the first half, we was mostly defending. We didn't really attack as much as we were doing in the first 30 minutes. So it was we ended up making it harder for ourselves. But anyways, and then second half starts and VITESSE started really well. You know, basically how they ended the first half. You had to give them credit. They didn't stop trying until the end. So they played really well. I do think we probably underestimated them at times, but so they were pressing for that third goal, and unfortunately Romero got sent off. Crazy game, because then VITESSE ended up getting 2 red cards themselves, and there was like literally everything happened in this game. 5 goals, 3 red cards, pitch invaders, like literally anything you could think of happened during this performance. In the end, VITESSE had a player sent off for 2 yellows, and then the goalkeeper got sent off for handling the ball outside the box. So they were effectively down. So again, it was like 10 versus 9, and we were able to see out the game and end up winning 3-2. So the performance of the first 30 minutes was really good, and I think that is what we're going to be seeing more in the games that are coming. However, the rest of the game just shows what we need to improve on, and defensively and like creative. Though we did create quite a few chances, which is more than we have done, which was more than we did under Nuno. So I think it just says it for itself, you know. But yeah, I was really happy with like the performance. Showed really great character to keep going, keep that defensive, and I feel like our defence got better when we went down to 10 men, which is kind of confusing. But I think that we defended as a team and managed to get the win, which was the most important thing. That game was a must win and we got it, so can't complain about that. And the performances will improve each game, and you know. So starting off with Lloris, I gave Lloris an 8. Obviously I don't think he wasn't at fault and couldn't really do much about the 2 goals that we conceded. However, he did make some terrific saves throughout the game, which kept us in it, especially in the first half. Because before we scored, we could have been like 2-0 down, could have been game over. But because of the race, you know, he kept it 0-0 and we managed to get those 3 goals. He was very commanding at the back, and he took pressure off defence. In the second half, when set pieces were given to VITESSE, taking charge when corners were coming to the box. It was a great performance and was a massive factor into why Tottenham came away with the 3 points. And Romero, I gave Romero a 5. Wasn't his best performance, as he struggled to track wide runs. However, in defence of him, he shouldn't have been given the first yellow card, since all he did was just stood his ground and the VITESSE player basically just ran into him. So not yellow for me. However, that doesn't excuse the challenge he did make for the second yellow. He needs to be more careful when he is on that first yellow, as he ended up being sent off and we went down to 10 men. Luckily, it didn't cost us the game. However, I do feel like he should play for the centre in that back 3. But overall, he does have the potential to be an outstanding player, especially under Conte. I think Conte will bring out the best in Romero, and what we've seen already, I think there's more to come. Dyer. I also gave Dyer a 5. He let his man go from the corner, in which allowed Vitesse back into the game, and he should have defended better for the second goal. The first half was unconvincing, but he did improve in the second half and deserves credit for Spurs holding firm after Romero's red card. Similar problems as a few of his mistakes are still costing us goals. Needs to do better if he does want to be a regular starter under Conte. Moving on to Davies, I also gave Davies a 5. He was very lucky not to give away a penalty early on in the first half. That could have been costly. Wasn't able to keep up with the pace of the game. Defensively was still found wanting, but he did get forward quite a bit, fully involved in the attacks. Potentially should have scored, but his efforts in that situation helped us score a third, which of course ended up being a match winner, even though it was no goal. Could have been Kane's, but you know, it was given as an own goal. He needs to improve massively, and maybe more game time is what he needs to achieve that. But overall, it was a disappointing display. Defensively, more positive going forwards, but defensively just wasn't there. And on to Royal. I gave Royal an 8. His best performance in a Spurs shirt. No doubt about that, his best performance. Brilliant play all round, made things happen, create chances. He was a big threat to Vitesse's back line, and they struggled to handle his movement. And he was able to roam forward a lot more due to this formation was playing, which I definitely think suits him better than being in the back four. And there is a lot more to come from Emerson, but already showing what a quality signing he is, and was exciting to watch. So much energy going up and down the right hand side, and also completing the most distance covered in a match, which he's now holding the world record with a 16.7 kilometres, surpassing Harry Kane's previous record of 15.3 kilometres. Man of match display. He was definitely my man of the match. It was between him and Lloris. I could have given it to Lloris, but I gave it to maybe a joint man of the match. But moving on to Reguilon, I gave Reguilon an 8. He had loads of energy, constantly running up and down the left hand side. Left wing back is the perfect position for him. Endless forward runs with great crosses and tracking back when needed. Provided the team with a great outlet. Effort and commit were at 100%, getting back to his best, and only going to improve even more under Conte. The future is bright for Reggie, and it was an outstanding display. Before I do continue the play ratings, I just wanted to say that I felt in this game every single player on the pitch was given 100% for the team, for themselves, for the fans, and you really saw the pressing, the intensity, like everything was on point. So I just wanted to say that before moving on. So next up we have Skip, who I gave a 6. He did shield the midfield well at times throughout his time on the pitch, but a few times on a break he got outnumbered. His first touch let him down at times, gifting back the possession to Vitesse, which did end up putting us on the back foot. I do think some of his performance was down to nerves. I think he was a bit nervous, but he did work hard for the team, and you could see he was giving it everything. In this formation, I don't think him playing with Pierre works all that well. So maybe going to future games, maybe Conte should go with one defensive midfielder, but I just don't think that really works them, in this formation anyways. But overall it was a decent performance, onwards and upwards from here. Skip, Højbjerg 6. Similar, but he did join in with the attacks and further forward than Skip. He did work very hard in midfield, winning back possession. However, he needed to do more on the ball. His passing was a bit sloppy at times. He struggled to connect with the attack in some vital moments, but he did put in 100% effort like always. He needs to improve when he has the ball and ensure his passing is more on point. Overall, it was an okay display. I think that with Højbjerg and Skip, they struggled a bit in this formation, so I definitely think just playing one of them and maybe like a Ndombele or like a Celso next to them. Moving on to Lucas, I gave Lucas a 7. He started the game really well with his direct running, pacing behind and creativity. Deserved his goal and took it well, but however he did give the ball away, which led to Vitesse getting their second. this performance was definitely showing the good things about Morant and the bad things that need to be improved on, but overall he did look really promising, and I'm excited to see what more can come from him under Conte. I think that he can definitely be a big player. Moving on to Sonny. I gave Son an 8. This formation I think really suits him really well, as he can drop back and get in the ball. He had a free role, so he can run in behind, drift wide, go central and track back when he can. Could potentially see Son becoming an even more world-class player under Conte if that's possible, because he's world-class already, but he can improve on that. I feel like he's a real lead on the pitch now and scored a great goal. Stayed live in the box, been the first player to react, and overall it was a brilliant display. And I saw his post-match interview, and you can just tell that mentality, that winning mentality is coming, and like just getting it. And I think under Conte that is just going to keep coming, so I'm excited to see Sonny under Conte even more. Moving on to the last player of the starting 11, Kane. I also gave Kane an 8. He definitely looks more comfortable and more up for the game. I feel like even an out of form Kane will get chances in this current formation that we have, so I'm excited to see him back amongst the goals. He grabbed an assist from Mora's goal. It was a really lovely pass. Did extremely well holding the ball and winning the fouls at the end. And he was probably the biggest reason, if not like on par for the race, as to why we were able to see out the game and get the win. And I do think under Conte, Kane will get back to his best and maybe see an even better play than we have previously. Overall, it was definitely a much improved performance from the Man United game, and I think everyone showed that. I know it's only for tests, but you can only beat who's in front of you, and they all played really, really well, so I'm happy with that. So now Ndombele, I gave a 6. He came on during the second half, and he added a lot of energy. His presence in the midfield allowed us to play out from the back at times, and the VITESSE player struggled to get the ball off him. And Winks also came on, and also gave Winks a 6. He pressed and held the ball really well, and he did impress me when he came on. The only thing he needs to do now is add consistency to his game, so I want to see that kind of performance against a tougher opposition, like maybe in the Premier League. But overall, a great cameo. Moving on to one of the last subs, Sanchez. I gave a 7. Defended really well when he came on and ended up being our best centre back of the night, which is surprising, but I don't know, it was just like a really weird situation like that. Got cut on the head, but even that didn't really falter his performance. I can see improving under Conte, but he will need to cut out those mistakes that we know he can do. But I think if he's if he's in that back three, I think that it'll probably suit him a lot more. And I think that with like Romero next to him and stuff, it will definitely make him calmer, and he won't be as like rash and making these big mistakes. Lo Celso did come on, but I didn't give him a rating just because he didn't have much time on the pitch. Definitely should have scored. I can admit that he should have scored, but other than that, that was really the only thing that he had to do. But sadly, it didn't happen. But I'm sure he will improve. Now moving on to Conte and his rating for his first match in charge. I gave him an 8. Obviously, he didn't have much time to prepare for this game, because he wasn't able to really work with the players because of the work visa, so he just had to like watch on. So that time he did have, he got the players to have more intensity and pressure on the front, which was missing under Nuno. I have to admit, it was really missing. The formation lineup was spot on. Controlled the game for the first 30 minutes. The goals we conceded weren't really down to Conte, just obvious things that the team needs to improve on, which we already know about, and he's going to see that and be like, yeah, we've got a lot of work to do. So in a way, I don't mind the game finished I don't mind how the game ended, just because I feel like it was important for Conte to see the good things, the bad things, and like the really, really horrible things that it's just happening with his team. So I think now that he's seen like everything, and it's an all-in-one match, and we didn't end up losing the game, we won it, I think that was the most important thing. So we move on. And we made the right subs at the right time. Exciting times ahead. So there we have it, guys. Those are my player ratings. Be sure to let me know down below your player ratings and whether you agree with mine, and if not, then let me know. Yeah, with that being said, that is going to be the end of this video. My predicted lineup for the Everton game will be coming up after this, so be on the lookout for that. So if you haven't already, subscribe down below, tap that bell so you get notified every time I upload a brand new video. And I will see you guys later with my predicted lineup, and tomorrow for my live watch along, Tottenham versus Everton at Goodison Park. I'm excited. I haven't been excited for this. I haven't been this excited for a Premier League game in a long time. So let's hope for a great performance, and come on you Spurs.